Okay, investment casting. We know the different type of casting. We did them: permanent casting, shell type casting, hot chamber die casting, cold chamber die casting. There is another category, you may say, or you may say the another form of casting is the investment casting. So we should know what is the investment casting. See, the name suggests the investment. That means there is a monetary relation. Okay, there is a money. There is a monetary relation. Okay, now what is the investment casting? The investment casting process begin with production of wax replicas of the desired casting. Do you know what is the meaning of wax? Wax means the plastic. Okay, okay. We melted the wax and make a casting. Earlier we were study about the everything the metal, but sometime we go for the wax. The toys are created in this process. Okay, different type of toys with different shape is produced by this process. These replicas called pattern are injection mold in a metal dies. A pattern must be manufactured for each casting to be prepared. A number of patterns are attached to a central wax stick. See, better first we learn this. See, there is a box. By using this box, we can create a pattern. Okay. Inside this box, we pour the wax. See the red one, and finally we got this. We use this as a mold. Okay, pattern. See, there is a stick, and we attach this pattern by that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now we dip it to a cell building. Suppose we dip it to a concrete or solution of cement or plasters. Okay, so we dip it. When we dip it, then the plaster is attached with that. Am I right or not? It will be attached by the outside of this wax. Am I right now? Siddharth? It will be attached with this stick na. If we dip this system, complete system on a solution of a plaster or cement, like that way what will shown here, then in the plaster will stick with this wax. Now if we heat this, then what happen? The inside this there is a wax. Okay na. What is the inside at? The inside is a wax. This portion is inside on the in between for that, and when we heat up, the wax is melted and come out. Okay, like that way. This melted and come out. And now see, then in this pattern, the hollow is created. Whatever place is occupied by the wax is melted out. That means the hollow is created. This portion, what is shown over here, the white. What is this? It is the layer on the outer surface of that wax assembly. Am I right or not, Siddharth? This portion include the wax assembly, and the outer layer is made by a plaster or anything you can use, any solution you use. Understand? Okay. Now see what will be held if this wax is deep on a solution like a plaster or cement. This unit. Tell me, if we dip this, if we dip this unit of wax assembly on a suppose on a solution of a plaster, then what will be happen? Tell me, Siddharth. No model. See, it is your finished material. Suppose you have to create like that. Okay. Now what we did? We did this type of pattern made by a wax or plastic. Okay. Now assemble it in a stick. Okay, and make a system. Now dip it in a solution, or you may say we building a shell. Okay. Now suppose it is a solution of some ceramic. Then if you dip it, then the ceramic layer is attached with this wax. Now ceramic has a high melting point than the wax. So if we heat this, then ceramic is not melted, but inside the wax, inside it is present, the wax is present, the inside wax is melted and come out. Then what happened? The outer surface which was made by the ceramic, only it is left, because wax is come out, and because of come out of wax, the hollow is created inside the ceramic structure. Is it clear or not? Now what? Now it is your permanent mold. Now see here the below picture. Now we pour the molten metal. Okay. Now we pour the molten metal to a cell. Okay, and using the gravity. Okay, that means we know that everything is come out in downside, so we keep this cell like that way and pour it from above side, then it will distribute it to every cell unit. Okay, na, it will be distributed, and when it will be distributed, we wait for some time to cool enough or solidification. After solidification, we just break the outer surface of ceramic, because ceramic is easy to break. Okay, if you give the vibration, then only it can be broken. And if we break this outer surface of ceramic, then inner surface is your product of your desired molten metal. Okay, when you get this, you cut from here. Okay, then see, it is your final product. The size a small pipe. Give a vibration. See, here is a machine with hammer. See here, this step. We give the vibration with a hammer, and then the outer surface of ceramic is broken, and inner surface is made by the metal. That is why the metal unit is remain. The outer surface which is made by the ceramic is broken. Now we cut from this channel and get our desired product. Is it clear? Okay, now read that. The investment casting process begin with the production of wax replicas of the desired casting. These replicas, called the pattern, are injection molded in metal dies. A pattern must be manufactured for each casting to be produced. A number of patterns are attached to a central wax stick. This is the central wax stick, or this is the pattern. The number of pattern attached with the central wax stick. A pattern must or sport to form a casting cluster or assembly. After some initial pre-dip which thoroughly clean the wax, the assembly are immersed or invested into a liquid ceramic slur. See, we make a liquid ceramic slur. In there we just dip it repeated time to make a layer above the wax assembly. Okay, now and then into a bed of extremely fine sand to form a cell. Okay, the first critical layer are often applied by hand. Between each layer, the ceramic is allowed to dry. The latter, heavier layer are often applied to automated equipment or special cell building robot. Okay, those are the technique. That means when you dip, the first layer is come. When you dip it, the first layer is come. Then wait for some time to solidify it. Then again we dip. Now another layer is come. In that way, we make this cell. Okay. Now what is for to casting the cell are fired in an oven. Okay, we go to the oven and fire this assembly and heat burn out the remaining wax residue and prepares the mold for the molten metal. So whatever the wax is inside this assembly, that is burn out by heat chamber. Okay, in the conventional gravity pouring method, metal is poured into the cell through a funnel shape pour cup and flows by gravity down the spore channel through the gate and into the part cavity. As the metal cools, the part cavity spar and pouring cup become the solid casting. After the casting has cooled, the ceramic cell is broken off and the part are cut from the spar using high speed friction saw. Okay, after minor finishing operation, the casting which are identical in configuration to the wax pattern which shaped them are ready for certification and shipment to the customer. So this is the process, and in that process we can produce lot of unit in a fraction of time. Whatever we use this wax in a assembly, that number of your final product will produce at a one shot. Okay, if we attach the 100 that type of unit for this stick, then at the ending of the process 100 your final product will produced. That is why it is called investment casting, because the time needed for making a casting product is very less. At the time of a single casting, you make thousand of product, because the heating time and cooling time is same. During this heating and cooling time, you make 100 of product. Is it clear? That is why it is called investment casting. Okay, now we come with the casting defect. What are the defect in casting? See, some of the common defect in casting are blowholes. What is a blowholes? They appear as small holes in the casting. They may be open to surface or they may be below the surface of a casting. They are caused due to entrapped bubbles of gas. They may be caused by excessively hard ramming, improper venting, excessive moisture or lack of permeability in sand. So, what is that blowhole? Blowhole is a defect which made by the bubble present in a air hole. Suppose your mold like that. Suppose your mold like that. You have to make a unit like that. Okay, square unit you have to make. Okay, now you pour the metal, the molten metal on that basin. Okay, see, it is a basin. When you first time pour this molten metal on that basin, at that time some bubbles are present, some air are present, bubbles are present, maybe some moisture also present inside that. clear? Now you pour the metal and it occupied the place inside that. Okay. Now because of earlier the bubbles and the moisture are present in this mold, now this moisture try to evaporate and it will find the way from where it evaporate. Okay, so it create a small hole above the surface or lower the surface, because it making these holes on this final product to leak out from the vacuum press for evaporation. Okay, so this type of defect is called blowholes. Is it clear? Okay, now shrink cavity. What is a shrinkage cavity? Sometimes due to faulty design of casting product of very thick and thin section, the shrinkage cavity may be caused at the junction of such section. Shrinkage cavity is totally internal. See this. We make a design, the lower surface is thicker and upper surface is thin. So at the joining end, the disbursement of the molten metal is not so, because every molten metal, when it will solidify, it will sink, it will reduce its size, because it is the natural tendency of a metal. When it is hotted or melted, its volume is big, and when it solidified or cooling, it will sink. So because of this nature or this property of solidification, see here the area is much bigger than that. So here is volume is also bigger. So the volume of the metal is much higher than the volume of the metal from that end. So there here the sinkage is much higher than the here. So sinking pressure is different for these two places. So that is why in a junction there is a hole created, and these holes are called shrinkage cavity. Is it clear? Mishran. What is the Mishran? This denotes incomplete filling of mold cavity. And refer your book which is supplied by the आई इंडिया. ओके, जो आई से जो बुक मिला है उसको फॉलो करो, क्वेश्चन पेपर को फॉलो करो. और अगर आपके पास जैन बदर का क्वेश्चन पेपर है लास्ट 10 इयर्स का, तो उसको फॉलो करो.